Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. It is Monday and there's a ton of new stuff kicking off the start of the week here. The first thing I'm pretty much totally blocking it, even the chair is in the way here. But there is where is it? Legends Arrival Gift. There is a free gift in the shop today. It is a game-changing 72 energy. Wow, exciting stuff, but it's free. Mystery will soon be revealed. Who is this crowned tough guy? Get ready for his grand entrance. Well, as you guys know, we obviously got the official information from Plarium already. I already have a video breaking down his kit and his skills. But Sun Wukong, I think he should be appearing in game today. And the loyalty program, the login rewards for him start tomorrow. So log in for 7 days, starting from tomorrow. And you can get him. Again, the full info is in the video I gave on that before. You could potentially like skip a day to try get him to sync up with a summoning event or something, but I don't think that's worth it. Honestly, I think just go grab him, right? Grab him as soon as you can. It's not worth skipping days to try and make that lineup with anything in particular. That's big number one. Number two, hey, look at the portal. It is our second ever Summon Pool event. This one is my dog is under the desk and might start eating some wires. I might have to pause. I think she's being good. You being good? Oh, you're lying down. Oh, good dog. You got some fluff. Nice. Thank you for defluffing under my desk. Very thoughtful. Really good champions, honestly, in this summon pool. But there's some massive differences here. Straight off. So many differences from the first event. So first of all, no rare champions. No rare champions at all. And the cost to activate the Prism Shard has gone up from 20 to 80 shards. And the new chances, there's now a 10% chance of legendaries and a 90% chance of epics. I think, honestly, speaking from a game design perspective, I think what they've done in these events is really clever, right? By having it be different amounts of prism shards, and they can adjust these between each event. And the summon pool is adjusted between each event. They can adjust the summoning chances between each event. What it does really is it sort of obfuscates how worthwhile these events actually are. It becomes much more difficult for you to look at this and go, is this good or is it not? Whereas with the Sacred Shard event, Sacred Shards are a very fixed value, really. And after playing the game for a while, you start to really get comfortable, have a good intuition for how much a Sacred Shard is worth. It's going to be really hard to get a good intuition for how Prism Shards work. And our intuition is often wrong, and I think that's really what it tries to exploit. Now, it's gambling, right? Basically is what it is. Your intuition doesn't serve you that well. I'll give you a quick way to sort of work this out. So this is what I would do. So for me, if we look at the legendaries, there are 12 up for grabs, and we have some extremely good legendaries in here. Extremely good. For me personally, let me go through and I will mark which ones would be worthwhile for me. So Kargar I don't have, though I don't think... I'm just going to keep it simple. As yes, do I want a legendary, or no, do I not? You could also look at it in the way of, would these actually be account changing, or is it just a fun new collectible? Ones that will be probably account changing for me. Duchess, I don't have a Duchess, account changing. Theodore the Savant, account changing for me as well. A second Necmo, probably account changing. So those are the three I would say would probably change my account. On top of that, I don't have Mashald or Snicktrack or Karagar. I would actually really like each of them. I think they're great champions, and I could build great and interesting teams with them. That's pretty big. And then I wouldn't mind a second Uko. So there's definitely, 3 out of 12 is game changing. Okay. I'd say 7 out of 12 let's call it desirable, right? And you can work out the percentages of that. So if I work out the percentages of that really fast, so 3 divided by 12. So it's, I should have worked that one out. So 25% chance if I hit a legendary, and then 7 divided by 12. That one's not as obvious. That's 58%. Rounding it down slightly, but 58%. And then given that there's a 10% chance of legendary, I can say per shard then, or per summon, right, equals, it would be a 2.5% chance to change account, or 5.8% chance to get something good. right? For me, get something good. I don't want any of the epics, so I don't care about that. So none of those are worth anything to me. But that is how, let me actually put this onto a separate line so it's easier to see. This is how I'd work it out. And now, if you wanted to be very detailed, you could go through and you could apply the same concept to sacred or ancient shards or any shard type, and you could figure out what your chance to get something good is. I would actually say, you know, a 5.8% chance to get something good is actually pretty good. That's not bad. Like if I compare it to, let's say, a sacred shard, best case scenario, there's a 12% chance of a legendary. Um, in order for that to be as good as this, it would mean that half of the possible legendaries in the game, basically 6% of that, half 12, 6% would have to be good, worthwhile for my account. And that's definitely not the case. There's probably tons of legendaries I already have or aren't actually that strong. The fact that we have actually very strong, very viable legendaries in here makes it actually pretty decent. So that's my initial analysis, is that for me, for my account personally, and you can do it for yours, it's probably going to look even better for you, most likely. This seems to be, a pull on this seems to be more powerful, significantly so perhaps, than a sacred shard. Although that being said, you do not have the mercy system coming into effect. It's not going to help you towards like fusions, etc., which otherwise might happen. You know, it's not factoring in double legendary events, 10x events, which might not great for sacreds. But it's pretty interesting, right? Initially, so I would also say for most of you looking at the epics, honestly, there's really good epics in here. One that stands out is Yelagurna is terrible and also not not good for Hydra. Like I don't think it counts. I don't think it counts as killing enemies in Hydra. So half her skill kit is useless. That one is weird, but apart from that, it is really a top tier collection, honestly, of epics. You know, Ursula. There's so many in here. So for most of you newer players, you stand a good chance to get extremely good epics in there, like Deacon, like Ugo's in there as well. I know tons of people chasing Ugo, Royal Guard, Seeker. It's pretty massive. Doom Priest, who goes alongside and makes those, you know, things like Helicath or Emic Trunkheart, helps you make affinity friendly, unkillable teams with champs like that. Pretty massive. So this seems pretty good. The thing though, on top of this, is what is the price? And the price is pretty high. So for one pull of the Prism Shard, one summon, costs 20 US dollars. Now that is what throws it out. That's pretty bad. That's very high. So a Sacred Shard, I would say they typically sell for $20. But you can often get them for less. Like you might pick one up for $12 or something in a really good pack if you were to go and find it, or even less sometimes. But they often try to sell them for about 20, but they're probably worth on average more like $15, which means that, yeah, I think that a pull on the Prism Crystal is probably generally a bit better than a pull of a Sacred Shard, but it's actually quite expensive if you're going to buy them. So that does become a bit of a bigger question mark. Now, there should also be events. I'm not sure what those events are going to be or how many it's going to give out, but there should be events throughout the week that are going to give you access, right? This runs until Friday. Yeah, so you can, where does it say? Period, oh no, it does say it in here somewhere. Yeah, you can get Prism Crystals from other sources, shops, and other events, right? So there will be events to get this. Honestly, I think it will depend on the events, but there's a pretty good chance these events are going to be fairly worthwhile, right? The events to get these shards could be pretty darn worthwhile because there's good stuff in here. Like I said, you know, if it's not too much work to get a prism, a summon of the prism shard, and I'd expect you might be able to get one, maybe two for free. I don't expect much more than that. You know, coming in with this is not bad. Like if I am able to for free get 2 pulls of this and I have like a 10% chance to get a champion that's actually really good and new for my account, that makes a difference. You know, I'm kind of happy with that. That's okay in Raid Shadow Legends terminology. From an outside perspective, you're probably going like, wow, you do a bunch of work over the week and you have a 10% chance to get something good, or 90% chance, in other words, to get something bad. Yeah, that's how the game works. Though, like I said, if the epics are good for you, it could be extremely high chance to get something good. So initial impressions of this event, it's going to depend a lot on the cost. Buying them looks pretty dodgy, I would think. But depending on the events, you might be able to come and grab something pretty good for very minimal investment, hopefully. So it could be a really nice little event, actually, nice bonus event. My guess would be, seeing as it was 20 to summon an ancient, 80 for what is effectively a sacred, I'd say it's probably going to be about 40 for if they ever do like a void focus one. I mean, that being said, there's no void legendaries in here, but there are void epics, 4 of them. But I think next time I'd probably expect them to do a void themed prism event. That'd be my guess. So you could even potentially like stop at whatever 70 prism crystals and try to carry over some extra for that one. That's a potential strategy too. But I would guess probably 40 crystals for a void event be the next thing that they will run. I say they're just trying to gather data on like whether people participate in it, whether they like it or not. But yeah, it's certainly intriguing. Now, we also have information on a Summer Deck of Fate event, which is going to start tomorrow and go through to Saturday. So you get Fate points by leveling up champions, getting artifacts, and opening soul stones. This is probably going to be fairly somewhat intensive then. So it's a reason to, or a time to open your soul stones. It could be okay. Leveling up champions, so champ training. That's pretty intensive, but it's something that I usually encourage people to do, right? For newer players, leveling up champions is half of the game, right? That's what lets you get through Doom Tower, Faction Wars, all of this crucial stuff. It's so important. Getting artifacts, Dungeon Divers is usually very weak in these events. It's not going to give you much. So it's really going to be how much champion training am I going to do and how many soul stones have I saved up. But yeah, you're going to flip the cards. We'll see what the rewards are going to be. I mean, we get a quick little gander over here. Void shards, some gems, the legendary tomes up for grabs. These events have been very hit or miss. The Deck of Fate, very hit or miss. So it's really hard to say right now how good or bad this will be until we see what the rewards are and the chances. My advice with these usually is very simple. It's to have a pretty casual approach, right? Just do the stuff you're probably going to do anyway. So like, might open my soul stones for it. Why not? Wasn't saving them for anything in particular anyway, and get some stuff, but don't take it too seriously. Don't try to max it out. They're usually not worth that. But hey, it's sort of a fun little game. It's a fun little mini game, in my opinion, if you don't take it seriously. That's sort of my advice for that one. So yeah, I think that is basically all the news then that we have to cover today. So yeah, new login legendary starts tomorrow. Get your free gift today. It will change your account forever. Let me know what do you think of the Summon Pool event. I say that's the big spicy thing, but we've got honestly such a great selection of legendaries in here, all very useful, very helpful. Yes, Uko, Datura, Drang, they were previous fusions, but it's been quite a while since we've had them. Even Akantra was also previous fusion. So only 4 of the 12 are previous fusions. We did have guaranteed events for Archbishop, for Necmo. That was it, actually. So 2 champions, some guaranteed. And then a lot that have never had any events. And we've got really top tier, like Duchess, Theodore. A lot of very top tier stuff in here. It's pretty cool. Will this be my first time to get a Duchess? Unlikely, but you never know. Let's actually work that out. Let's end with that. What is the chance this could be my first Duchess? So, with 1 out of 12, if I got a legendary, it would be an 8.33% chance. And then because it's obviously a, 1 in 10 chance you do get a legendary, divide that by 10, there's a 0.8% chance. Presuming I get 1 pull of the Prism Shard, 0.8% chance it's gonna finally be my Duchess. That's it. That's basically 100%. It's guaranteed. Let's go. Now, again, take things with a pinch of salt, guys. Take things with a pinch of salt and just have fun. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.